All right, my Corvette friends, thank you for tuning in for part 2 of C4 Corvette built to be different. And they were. I tell you what, when they started to build the C4, they wanted a different product altogether. They did not want to have a remake of the last 1 and 2 and 3. They wanted to start new and fresh. They wanted to make a lunge towards the competition over in Europe. And they knew they had to be suspension. They knew it had to be sleeker. They knew it had to be able to hold corners. It had to be able to drive so much different. Even though the horsepower was down, they had to make this car special. And I think they did. And that's what we're going to talk about, not only today, but in this series. We're going to hit a lot of little dinky things that's not so important to some real solid things that are important, and we're going to mix it out in the next episodes as they go by. So welcome to 2, and I'll see you at the end. When it comes to the C4, there's probably no bigger complaint than getting in and out of the car. And like a lot of race cars and a lot of different sports cars, that's not totally uncommon. But for a Corvette, I guess it's a little more uncommon than the past Corvettes and in the future, like the C5s and C6s and so forth. But the C4, that makes another thing that makes it really unique, because there's no other Corvette like that. And the big thing about it is when they put the target top on, they need to reinforce it. So they raised the frame rails up quite a bit, almost up to the height of the seat. When you're sitting in there, the unique thing is you're not just sitting there, you're sitting down in the Corvette. And boy, I tell you what, that's a nice feeling. It's different than any other car you ride in, and you're low to the ground, and you're low, but you're so slick looking out the window. It's awesome. I like it when it's low. I don't mind going over there. And you know what I say to guys who are having trouble? Figure out a way. If I can do it, you can do it. If you got the Corvette like this, it's worth it to get in and out of it. No problem. In fact, it's awesome. Before I get back in the car, I want to show you something that's quite unique. Normally, if your windshield wiper switch is either on your control for your turn signals or it's on your dash. But in the C4 Corvette, neither is true. It's in a very, very unique place. I mean, you can search the dash, and most guys do when they first get it, and they don't know where it is. And then they find it, and they may not even know how to work it because it's unique. Of course, it's a C4, and that's what makes the C car so unique. So let me show you where it's at. It's on the door. Yep, it's on the door. As you can tell, it's not really much different than any other. It's just where it's at. It's one little lever here. You got delay, you got low, you got high, like any other one. And you got, of course, where the O is, that's off. And then all the way down is a mist. You can spray it like, no, that don't work that way. You have to push it to make it work. And that sprays the windshield. So if you're looking for the windshield washer on the dash, you're out of luck. It's on the door. Okay, let's take a second here and let's talk about the controls, the seat controls. I don't even think in a sports car that you need an electric seat. I think it's a waste of money and a waste of rate that it puts into the car, totally unnecessary. I would be guessing to say that 9 times out of 10, the guy who bought the car is the driver of the car, and he can set it up one time and he's done with it. That would be the case. I never changed mine. I'm the only driver in the car. But the point being, it does have a lot of uniqueness to be able to tilt it. It's like, well, it's like the cream of the crop. It's a quality car in that regard. But my personal opinion is you don't need them in a sports car. But as long as you got it, this is pretty unique. It's really cool to have these go forward, backwards, up, down, tilt, every which way, no problem. And it's nice because it's got the mirrors. That's, again, classy. You can adjust the mirrors from in here. That's really nice too. So there's no doubt about it. I like all this, except it's maybe unnecessary. But here's the thing. The back and seat here, the old traditional, I first couldn't find it when I got the car. You know where it's at? It's where it's supposed to be, kinda. It's on the edge. It just, you wouldn't think it would have a mechanical adjustment for the back. Just a little lever, not unlike a hatchback in my 60 Chevy, but it works. It brings you forward and backwards, and it gets that little adjustment. But I talked to a couple of guys, but maybe even bring this up today, is that they didn't know it had it. And I can understand that, because you see in all of it here, you look no further, you figure it doesn't have it. But it does. Passenger side too. What I got in my hand here is the RPO codes for the 1985 Corvette. It tells you an awful lot of options that was available. Now, you can usually find that on the cover. I found mine on the cover of one of the boxes back here for storage, and it gave me all the numbers that I had, and you could compare it and find out. That's how you find out what it is. The interesting thing, though, I was looking through this, and surprisingly enough, the most expensive add-on on a Corvette, and on this Corvette, which would be the least likely thinking off the bat, was the stereo system. The Bose Delco stereo system. You know, I like the sound of the Bose stereo. I met the guy, you know, he was an old timer like me, and he was one of the people who helped design the Bose for cars. And he was involved designing for the Corvette when the 83 or 84 rather Corvette came out. And he says that they took a Corvette even before they were produced, and they started placing speakers all around. They started speaking amplifiers all around, and they used all the different things, which is kind of high tech, super high tech then, and still high tech today, to make the sound right. You know, and again, I like it, but now people compare it to today's. Well, it's different, but the music is different for sure. But one of the things about it, that was $895 for the Dell vocal stereo. That's a lot of money, especially at the time when you consider the, you know, the other in comparison to other things with there, the regular stereo. Hey, get this too, the AM FM stereo with Citizens Band radio. Again, this is back in the 80s now, you know, and Citizen Band radio, CB radio, was available, and it was surprising they would put it in the Corvette, but there was only 16 sold. So I don't know, maybe if they're still around or not. But anyway, you can see how the advantage of going through this and seeing what things cost and comparing them to today's cost. But yeah, I like the stereo. To me, it works. Now, I did a video, and I'll show you here again. I did a video on how you can make your stereo a whole lot more stereo and a whole lot more music in today's time by this little plug-in that works really well. But I'll put it in the thing. But when you put this in, you can hook up to your phone. Now you got the same array of music that you would have in your stereo at home. So you're not limited. You can have a lot of fun with this stereo yet and enjoy it in today's time, and still keep the nostalgia of the original radio. Something to think about. One of the unique things about the emergency brake, in a lot of cars, especially the sports cars, they were on the right side, so your right hand would pick it up and lock it, and then you could have it up, and you could get out of the car, and it didn't stop you from moving. But on the C4 Corvette, being different, it's on the left side, and it's here. They pull it up, and it locks the emergency brake, and then it goes down automatically, spring-loaded actually. And now you can get out, move around, and you can get back in the car without a problem. And when you're ready to release the brake, it does show up on your information center there that it's on. You just pull it back up. It's all springy here. When you get to the top, you know it's tight. Hit the button, it clicks, and allows you to release the brake. Not a difficult thing at all. Not a difficult thing at all. And it always tells you on your dash if your emergency brake's on, so you should never leave it in trouble. Okay. Well, I got to tell you, when you take your car outside, especially these black ones, like we did today for today's video, it gets dirty. Well, thanks for watching. If you made it to the end, I sure appreciate it. And stay with us throughout this entire series. It can be a lot of fun. We're going to do a lot more things, and I'm always listening to your comments. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.